Hello, this is Jeff Robertson, National Sales Manager with Penton Audio USA again, and this is part 3 of our multi-part series on the URC third-party IP remote control device that we use for people that want to control volume, source select, message triggers or whatever on any of our DSPs, Terracom IP streaming control paging systems, or our IP speakers, or mass notification systems, and or our steerable array speaker systems. This video is on how to set up a macro button within the URC200. The previous video showed you how to add IP strings and how to set up your commands with all the stuff in there. But the macro button actually is unique because it will allow you under one click to do multiple functions on your remote device. And I'll show you an example of that, or actually one of the more common examples of this. So let's open up our URC200, set up my NIC controller, and if this is the third time you're watching this device, then this ought to be old hat to you. We will search, there's my device, we'll highlight it, and we will connect. And we'll go up here to the device and go to our IP strings. And let's just make sure, just so you can get in the habit of it, let's load what's already in there into my software. Good deal. We're all done. And now let's go click our command button here at the bottom. Okay, as you can see right here, we have an IDA8 message field. And this is our 3 on the main window. And what I want to do in this IDA8 message is we want to actually play different messages when I push a button. Now, when I play these messages, they're going to follow however you program these messages to be played within the IDA8. So if you set the IDA8 to say every time I get a logic or a command to play this message once or twice with 5 seconds in between, whatever, that's what it's going to do. So I can't change how that message behaves or where it's routed. All that has to be done in the IDA programming. So once again, we're into our nested screen. So let's add just a couple of buttons here. All right, and I'm just going to say this one's going to be evac message play, and this next one we can actually say let's do shelter in place message play. Okay. Most important thing is the default when you add a new field here is normal. You need to change these to macro. And what macro means is when I go to this next nested screen, all the commands that I put in here, it will play from the top right onto the bottom. It'll actually perform one right after another automatically. So let's click on 1 and 2. Because what we need is message play, and then we're going to have message stop. And actually, it's not really a message stop, it just turns to logic. So if we just say, actually, let's do this, message logic on, and this will be message. We're doing that, or you can say play or whatever. And now when we get here, this is where we set up our commands. So remember we said this was 10.0.0.100 for our IDA8. And remember our port is always 19761 unless you change it, and you don't want to unless you have to. 060D is always the success, and 100D is always the fail. Now our transmit. Now, what do we need to transmit for this thing? So let's go to our IDA8. Now, I've got a design here that has some message play over here. We've got all page schedulers and all kinds of different message players or whatever here. And here's our logic controls that actually trigger it. I don't want to get too much into the IDA8. There are videos on showing you how to do all this. But here are my logic buttons. So if I send a command, the way this scheduler and this message player is, I would just say, okay, when I push this one, if it was connected to this message player or turn in a schedule to play a message however many times, whatever, on, I would just click this button and then it would do whatever it's programmed to do. If I turn this logic button off, it won't do whatever it's doing. You're basically turning it off manually. So you can have this logic control go right to the message player to manually play a message, or to use it to turn schedules on or off, like your normal messages, non-smoking, loading zone only, what have you. So what you got to do is you right click on your logic button and you want to make sure you're set up for third party control. If I do this and we come back, you see it's not. I click on this and now it is. And let's do, this will be for message number 2. And so we'll just turn that on. So now both buttons are set up for third party control. That means they're third party controllable. So if I go to my control list and here's my logic buttons right here, number 1 and 2. So let's go to our button number 1. And highlight it, go to our command, and here's the command. Now here's your controller over here. I can turn it on or I can turn it off. And if you see right here in the command data, if I turn it on, it changes, and if I turn it off, it changes. Really the only thing it changes is this 30 goes to 31 and then off. And the value actually changes from 1 to 0. So when we want to play the message, we want to turn this button on. So once I turn it on, we want to write that command, not read it. Read means we just say what's the value and it spits it back at us. Highlight this, right click, copy command data. We go back to our URC200 and we just paste or control V right in there, and there you go. And we should be all set with that one. And if we want to turn the logic off, which we will have to do, same thing, 10.0.0.100 for the IP, 19761 for the port, 060D for success, 100D for fail, and the transmit would be, if we go down here and turn this off, right click on the right command and copy command data, go right back to this and we hit control V, and that's our data for that. Now the reason for that is that when I say evac message play, which is number 1, when I click on that in the URC200, the URC automatically will send this command code to turn the logic on, which will actually play the message. And then with the timeout, or not the timeout, but whatever we put for the timeout, it will send another command to turn the logic button off. Now you're probably thinking, why would I need to do that? Well, if I turn this command on, and I leave it on, even if the message is set to play once, if I send another command to turn the button on, the button's already on. It's not going to play the message again. So we have to turn it off so we can turn it back on at another time and trigger the message. So what the URC is going to do is, when I say play evac message, it's going to turn that button on, and then it's going to play, and then say for 3 seconds later, it's going to come back and turn the button off. The message is going to stop after whatever we programmed it to do. But now it's ready and armed for the next subsequent play from somebody else. So that's why you need an on, off, or you need a macro to do 2 commands at one time. Let's do the shelter in place message. We're going to add 2, right? And we can say SIS message play. And we can say SIS message trigger off. And once again, we'll go here, 10.0.0.100, and once again, 19761, 060D, and 110.0D. And our transmit, we go back to our IDA8, and this time we're looking at our second button. So we want to go to level number 2, so logic control level number 2, go to the command, turn it on, and here's our write command, right click, copy command data, go back to our URC, control V, and we're good there. And we'll do the same for turning it off, 100, and the port is 19761 and 060D, and our fail is 110.0D. And this will be, we turn it off, that's the command, right click, control it, copy it, and we control V, put it right back in here, and there you go. So now you're set. When I come up here and I say ID8 message and I click this on my URC, the URC field or user is going to see evac message play, shelter in place message play. They're going to click on that, and when they click on it, it's going to go to this screen, and then they're going to actually see it. Message logic on, it's going to press it, and then it's going to come up and say success at the top, and then it's going to do message logic off, and they success, and the message is going to play. They don't even have to stand around to watch it if they don't want. So that's why you need macros. If it was normal, they would click on it, then it would come over here, and you'd have all your options here. Then they just click on this to turn the message on, but then they'd have to manually click it again to turn it off. So once we've done all of this, once again, we're going to go over here and save, and it saves it into the URC200, and that's because I had another one going, but we are fine. And if I look on my URC200 now, I go down to my message, and there is my evac message, and there is my shelter in place message. And when I go to my message play, when I hit it, it goes to it, and there it is. It hits the first one, but we're not connected up to a machine, so it's going to time out. There's the timeout failure, and now it's trying to do the second one. I can see it because it highlights as it does each one of them. So there you go. I hope that helps you out. If you got any questions, just give us a holler or at pentonaudio-usa.com, or contact your local sales manager for assistance. But this should get you going. Thanks, and have fun with it, and good luck.